Hi, welcome. I'm Jen. I'm the studio manager at Yoga Sanctuary, and I'm here with Angelica Castro and Lindsay Pope. And we are going to be discussing healing racism through meditation. Angelica, I'm wondering if you could just introduce yourself and tell us why this work is important to you. And we'll start there.
Yes, hi, I am Angelica Castro and I use she, her, they, them pronouns. And we will talk a little bit more about pronouns during the series. But I am offering this healing racism through meditation, transforming acts of oppression into acts of love. Because the work that I do as a social justice educator is really helping people talk about some of these hard topics like racism, for example, and oppression in general. And I think we've all seen it, right? That these topics are really important to us and it's hard to talk about. And so, what I wanted to offer through this meditation series is a chance to really reflect and just be silent. When do we get to just sit still and really reflect, and then also to be able to share some of the um, skills that I've learned from other folks, thinking about this series. So I've developed over my course of the work that I've done a love formula. And so, really about listening, opening your heart, being vulnerable, having empathy. I think those are really, really important skills for this work. And so I wanted to offer that and share that with the community. And I just wanted to say it's an extension of the work that I have been doing with Yoga Sanctuary. I was invited in about a year ago to help Yoga Sanctuary co-facilitate conversations around dismantling racism as the staff and teachers were grappling and navigating these topics. And so I've been so honored to work with your community, and become a part of your community. And I see this as an extension of the work that we've been doing for the last year. And so I'm honored to be part of this. I'm honored to be asked to offer this to your community. And our community. So yeah, that's who I am.
Thank you so much, Angelica. We are so grateful to have you as a part of the community here at YS. And Lindsay, for anyone who's interested in joining this meditation series, can you tell us a little bit more about the structure or what a student might expect to experience if they register for this series?
Yeah, sure thing. As you heard, Angelica is really looking to develop certain skills to facilitate these conversations out in your life in the world. And so, each session is going to be organized very similarly. There's going to be we're going to establish some community guidelines at the beginning to facilitate really healthy conversation, especially in a multiracial space. We're also going to have an opening meditation, and it's going to be based on one of these skill sets that Angelica is helping us to cultivate. And then there's going to be a prompt for community conversation. So this is a chance in probably small groups for you to consider a prompt and to share reflections from the meditation. And then we'll end with some kind of invitation or reflection that you can bring and practice out into the world for the week. And we'll start the following week checking in about how that practice was. And so that's the rough structure of the general structure of this meditation series. And I just wanted to say that, anyone is welcome to join this series. We're going to have a lot of Yoga Sanctuary teachers and staff attending. We also invite any regular members of our community, and also anyone who hasn't been in our community before. Really, anyone is welcome. It's virtual, so you can join from anywhere in the country. I also wanted to mention that even though this is a meditation series, you don't have to be a regular meditator to join. Perhaps you want to build this practice, but these meditations are going to be very accessible to you, regardless of whether you have previous meditation experience. And so, yeah, really anyone is welcome to attend who wants to cultivate their skills with an open heart and a curious mind.
Thank you, Lindsay. And for those joining the series who are interested in yoga or have never practiced yoga before, I'm wondering if you can also add how the series is connected to yoga and its philosophies.
Sure. So, yoga is not just asana, the shapes that we practice. It's not just a workout. It really actually started as a philosophy and a way of being. And one aspect of yoga has always been sangha, being in community together. And so this is that practice very much. There's the community aspect, and there's also the meditation aspect, which is another very important pillar of yoga. In the yoga that we practice at Yoga Sanctuary, we also, don't aim to transcend our human experience, but to bring all of ourselves to our yoga practice, including the difficult parts, maybe the parts that we don't consider worthy. And so this work, healing racism through meditation, really is so much in line with the philosophy that we practice at Yoga Sanctuary. It's about being able to honestly assess our inner world, perhaps the biases and prejudices that we hold, and to acknowledge them, to work on them, and to also know that we are worthy and deserving of love, as is, every being. So it's about holding both of those truths at the same time, really, and inviting all of ourselves to practice.
Thanks, Lindsay. And Angelica, is there anything else that you want to add about why folks should join us? Because it's happening so soon in just a couple of weeks.
Yes, definitely. Well, I just wanted to say quickly, I remember going to my first 10-day silent meditation retreat about 11 years ago. And before then, I was not a meditator. And so it was so important to connect to my own breath, right? Like that's a tool that we have that we forget about. It's like our own breath. Um, and to be able to connect to my breath and to be able to heal. I did a lot of healing during those 10 days. And since then I've gone back. And really for me, I think about these conversations that a lot of us are having with family, with friends, with, people in our workspaces, maybe people our beliefs align with, maybe people that our beliefs don't align with, right? We agree or disagree with. And so it's so important for me when I think about, um, my social identities and raising kids in this world and the conversations that we've had and navigating these challenging and difficult conversations, to really lead with love. So I think about this series and why it is LOVE, because it really does take a lot of revolutionary love to be able to to really breathe, to really be able to open to other people, and to to have these conversations in a place of really listening and opening. And so for me, I feel like Lindsay mentioned really being in community together. Instead of doing this on our own and feeling isolated, there's so much isolation going on, I really encourage folks to come together, and so we can heal as a community. We can heal together. This is not a journey that we should or could take alone. It really happens in community. So I just really invite people to, try something new. If you've never meditated, like Lindsay mentioned, you don't have to be a meditator or have had done this. It's really a space, and I'll say it's a brave, safe space, because it takes a lot of courage to try something new, to be in community around these topics. But really is a space for everyone to come together and hold one another in love. So and really just one last thing I'll say is, really thinking about self-compassion, around navigating unconscious bias and really healing racism so we can move towards racial justice.
Thank you so much to both of you for all of those details and the heart that you shared. I'm really looking forward to joining you in this work. And I'll just mention a few logistics pieces to leave folks with. If you are interested in signing up for this meditation series, you can head to yoga-sanctuary.com/special-series, and you can sign up there. It is an offering where you can make a donation to our scholarship fund, and Lindsay will just say a little bit about that in a moment. But you can also make a donation to the general fund if you're interested in donating to support Angelica Castro's teachings in our community. So you have a few options and ways to give through this process. And to make a donation, you can just head to our pricing page, which is super easy to find on our website. But before we go, Lindsay, if you just want to mention what this funding goes toward, if people are interested in donating to the scholarship fund at YS.
Yeah, so the YS Scholarship Fund is a special fund that we use um, both for teacher trainings and also for our regular classes. It's to help support yoga practice and teacher training, both for people who might not be able to afford a regular yoga practice. That's more for the ongoing classes. But also for the trainings, it's a way for us to affirm and invite in people who have historically been marginalized by the yoga tradition in the West. So for example, for our prenatal teacher training last fall, we had 2 scholarships, 2 50% scholarships, one for a person of color and one for someone from the LGBTQ community. And that's and then something we intend to do for all of our teacher trainings moving forward is provide that really vote of confidence and support. So those are the 2 ways we use the scholarship fund.
Thank you. And another logistic piece that I forgot to mention is that the series starts on February 13th, and it will be running on Sundays from 4 to 5 p.m. It's all online, so you can tune in from anywhere around the country or around the world. Who knows? We'll see where we get people to join in from. And thank you for listening. And we really hope that you join this brave, safe space of healing racism through meditation, transforming acts of oppression into acts of love. Bye, everybody.
Hi, thank you. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Lindsay.